Problem solving refers to thinking and behavior directed towards attaining a goal that is not readily available. Problem solving strategies. Trial and error involves actually trying a variety of solutions and eliminating those that do not work. An algorithm involves following a step-by-step procedure or method that always produces the correct solution, like a recipe. Heuristic involves following a general rule of thumb strategy to reduce the number of possible solutions to a problem. One common heuristic is to break a problem into a series of sub-goals. Another heuristic involves working backward from the goal. Insight is the sudden realization of how a problem can be solved. Intuition means coming to a conclusion or making a judgment without conscious awareness of the thought processes involved. Bowers and colleagues have proposed a two-stage model of intuition. In the first stage, the guiding stage, you perceive a pattern in the information being considered, but not consciously. In the second stage, the integrative stage, a representation of the pattern becomes conscious, usually in the form of a hunch or hypothesis. Such hunches are likely to be accurate only in contexts in which you already have a broad base of knowledge and experience. There can be obstacles to solving problems. Functional fixedness is the tendency to view objects as functioning only in their usual or customary way. Mental set is the tendency to persist in solving problems with solutions that have worked in the past. Different cognitive strategies are used when making decisions, depending on the type and number of options available to us. With the single feature model, you base your decision on a single feature. When the decision is a minor one, this model can be a good decision-making strategy. With the additive model, you first generate a list of the factors that are most important to you, then rate each alternative on each factor using an arbitrary scale, such as -5 to +5. Finally, you add up the ratings for each alternative. The elimination by aspects model requires that you evaluate all the alternatives one characteristic at a time, typically starting with the feature you consider most important. Good decision makers adapt their strategy to the demands of the specific situation. If there are few choices and features to compare, people tend to use the additive model. When the decision is complex, people often use the elimination by aspect strategy to narrow the choices and the additive model to make the final decision. Decisions involving uncertainty. We tend to rely on two rule of thumb strategies to help us estimate the likelihood of events. The availability heuristic is a strategy in which the likelihood of an event is based on the basis of how readily available other instances of the event are in memory. The less accurately our memory of an event reflects the actual frequency of the event, the less accurate our estimate of the event's likelihood will be. The representative heuristic is a strategy in which the likelihood of an event is estimated by comparing how similar it is to our prototype of the event. This strategy can produce faulty estimates if we fail to consider possible variations from the prototypes and we fail to consider the approximate number of prototypes that actually exist. There are 4 obstacles to logical thinking that can account for much of the persistence of unwarranted beliefs in pseudosciences or other areas. The belief bias effect occurs when people accept only the evidence that conforms to their belief, rejecting or ignoring any evidence that does not. Confirmation bias is the strong tendency to search for information or evidence that confirms a belief, while making little or no effort to search for information that might disprove the belief. The fallacy of positive instances is the tendency to remember uncommon events that seem to confirm our beliefs and to forget events that disconfirm our beliefs. The tendency to overestimate the rarity of events is referred to as the overestimation effect.